What is going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. Ladies and gentlemen, I know I have not been on here in a hot minute, but I am getting back into a routine. I will promise you I'll be bringing back some of that raw Carolina Panther content that y'all deserve. And I've just been busy. Can't get in all the details right now. You'll see more later, but don't worry about it. Anyways, so today's video, let's talk about it. My latest mock draft for the Carolina Panthers. Justin Fields at number 8, possibility. All right. Now I know we've had a lot of trades going on in the league with, Miami and Philadelphia and San Francisco, but I don't think we have much to worry about. I don't think we need to panic. There's a lot of options still out there, even with the number 8 pick, and there's a lot of other free agents. And, of course, Deshaun Watson's still out there, but who knows what's going to happen with these allegations because it's now up to like 21, I think. So, anyways, before we get to today's topic, as I ask you to pound that like button, show your boy some love, pound that subscribe button if you haven't already, if you're new to the channel, or if you like what I put out there. So, and click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on new raw content, because I'm going to start bringing that back a lot more, probably 2 to 3 videos a week, maybe even 4. And then also, comment down below at the end of the video. Let me know what you think. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this bad boy of a mock draft. Now, remember, when I do these mock drafts, I'm doing it through a simulator on my computer. One of these days, I will be able to bring it to y'all live. All right? So, with the 49ers moving up to number 3, it's got to make you think that they moved up to get a quarterback. Now, it's just a matter of guessing which quarterback they moved up for. So, is it Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, or is it Justin Fields, or hell, Mac Jones? It's hard to tell. But my gut feeling is that they want Lance. So if that's the case, I can see Justin Fields falling into the lap of the Panthers at number 8. The only thing that could derail that theory is another team moving up in front of Carolina or, Philadelphia or Detroit. So take him despite having, and they could take him despite having Jared Goff and Jalen Hurts. So without further ado, number 8 pick, let's go with Justin Fields. All right. And I got him when I did it. So Justin Fields, is projected as a franchise quarterback at the NFL level. So he offers a blend of throwing ability, athleticism, stature, and clutch play that will cause NFL teams to fall in love with his evaluation. Even if his 2020 campaign showed some cracks in his play, I think Fields' ability as a passer is top shelf when accounting for his natural delivery and how easily he's proven to be able to throw around defenders or work himself into, generating velocity and accuracy when on the move. Now, the Buckeyes embraced rolling pocket with Fields at quarterback to take advantage of his arm strength and the subsequent access he'll get to all areas of the field as a passer. Fields will kill man coverage heavy teams with his legs. He's big, strong, and he's yet still quite dynamic as a runner. So breaking, contain, and converting third downs with his legs is a large staple of the conflict Fields is capable of putting you into as a player. So there's plenty of examples of Fields' successful engineering option-based reps in the mesh point between zone read and RPO concepts, and extending even to sparing use of the speed option. So giving his NFL coordinator the full bag of tricks to create conflict defenders and isolate them in the game plan. That's what Fields has largely done best. So there are instances of overconfidence, though, in his arm, and continuing to quicken his process beyond the first read is a needed point of emphasis for Fields to, stay on, I guess you could say, stay on schedule. So keep his sack totals down, but that is inevitably going to be part of his game that his pro team will have to be ready to live within, the same way it is true for, quarterbacks like Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, and others. So their play can be double-edged, swords at times. So it will be for Fields, who is ever bit as physically gifted as those previously I mentioned named passers. So Fields will need to arrive to a destination that embraces his ability to win with his legs and the quarterback run game, or else run the risk of a bumpy road early on as a starting NFL quarterback. But if he is paired with a head coach or offensive coordinator who can pull the best parts of his college game and implement them in the NFL, Fields has the potential to splash early. And I think that he would splash really early with the Carolina Panthers with Matt Rule and Joe Brady. So my next pick, who's second round pick, 39th overall, Jackson Carman, the offensive tackle of Clemson. Now, Clemson offensive lineman Jackson Carman, enters the NFL after serving as Trevor Lawrence's blindside protector for the last 2+ seasons in college. A role he filled quite well, to be honest. Carman is a massive and powerful blocker that thrives in the run game and holds his own in pass protection. His power is notable, but he moves well for his size and features strong hand technique that he blends with a strong feel for his role in the scheme that makes him an effective blocker. Now, where Carman shows signs of struggles is when he is tasked with speed off the edge. In those moments, Carman is often beat to his landmarks and he struggles to recover. So should that be a problematic at the next level, a move to guard will be required. And Carman's skill set suggests it's a transition he could handle, and perhaps he can perform even better on the inside. Carman has the makings of a quality starter at the next level, but his team will need to figure out the right spot for him to grow and develop at. And I think he'll develop well at Carolina. Remember, I'm picking guys, when I do this, guys, the best available and what I think we need. So the next pick, I went with Eric Stokes, the cornerback out of Georgia. Now, he was the 73rd overall pick. From 2019 to 2020, Eric Stokes has certainly improved at being more opportunistic with regards to securing turnovers. He can mirror from a pass position, but he can afford to clean up his technique, particularly his eye discipline in man coverage and getting grabby, I guess you could say, at the top of the route. Now, he has shown the ability to play in man or zone from a press or occasional off position, but he lacks elite play speed. So, he's not a dynamic closer at the top of the route and lacks elite short area and stop and start agility. His skill set may be best suited in a predominantly zone situation where he can play with vision and utilize his ball skills to make plays. Next pick, the 113th pick, I'm going to talk about Bravion Jordan, the tight end out of Miami. Now, Miami's tight end, Bravion Jordan, is a dynamic weapon that grew incrementally each season in college. And 2020 revealed a player that is much more prepared to claim a meaningful role in the NFL. Now, the Canes use Jordan all over the formation, including inline, from the slot, out of the backfield as both a receiver and a blocker. And he should do the same at the next level. As a receiver, Jordan brings an exciting blend of size, athleticism, and ball skills that make him dangerous at all levels of the field. He's a monster after the catch and challenging the seam. While his route tree expanded in 2020, there is still room to grow in terms of timing and technique as a route runner. So Jordan is a highly competitive blocker that is mostly effective, but adding more functional strength and technique to help him stay square to blocks will be important to contribute positively as a blocker in the NFL. Jordan projects as an F tight end in the NFL that has a chance to be a dangerous weapon if used correctly. All right, so next person I want to talk about here. The 151 overall pick, Drake Jackson, the inside offensive lineman from Kentucky. Now, Drake Jackson projects as a scheme specific starter at the NFL level. Jackson has the needed hand leverage, short area mobility, and football savvy to excel in the heart of an NFL line. Although his play experiences will leave questions about how well suited he is to start immediately in a much more pass-happy environment. Now, Jackson has served as the anchor of the Wildcats offensive line for 4 seasons, and the end result is a really well-rounded center prospect who can handle one-on-one reps against a nose or combo block and climb with efficiency against shaded interior defenders. Jackson has the needed nimble feet to win in space, and the biggest question for him will be if he can be a scheme transcendent player, as is. I like him most in an offense that implements a lot of inside zone concepts, and he's not a high level traits player, and he's not going to offer versatility to move around the line, but Jackson is proficient at what he does and is a perfect example of a competent inside offensive lineman, that can be found in the middle rounds of the NFL draft. Next pick, the 193rd pick, Darius Hutcherson, the inside offensive lineman out of South Carolina. Now, South Carolina offensive lineman Darius Hutcherson enters the NFL with nearly 4 years of starting experience in the SEC, where he spent extended time at left guard, right guard, and left tackle. So, while his experience at both tackle and guard is helpful, his skill set translates best on the interior in the NFL. Hutcherson is a powerful blocker that executes with a mauler's mentality. He's a sufficient athlete that does well to connect with moving targets in space and pull. His anchor is stout, and he gets after people in the run game. Now, when it comes to concerns, he needs to maintain consistency with balance and clean up timing and placement issues with his hands. He is best suited to play in a gap blocking scheme in the NFL. So that could reduce the number of teams he fits with at the next level. With that being said, he does have the traits needed to develop into a starter. This is not my last pick. I apologize. Next pick, the 222nd pick overall, Trey Norwood, cornerback or safety at Oklahoma. Not sure. But following suffering a torn ACL prior to the 2019 season, Norwood returned in 2020. Serving primarily as a nickel defender for the Sooners, he displayed plenty of fluidity at the position. He's a patient player. He has a smooth back pedal that marries up well with his body movements throughout. So with plenty of ball production, he translates as an eventual, depth nickel defender on the next level. last but not least, the 226th overall pick, I went with Taquan Graham, the inside defensive lineman out of Texas. Now, Taquan Graham is a experienced player. He's started in 24 of 48 games played. During that time, he's spent most of his time at 3 technique for the Longhorns. Along the interior, he is a long and strong interior defender that frequently uses his power to overwhelm interior blockers. Now, while not an overly explosive player, Graham has lots of experience that has helped him become a mainstay on the team's defense. Relying heavily on his power, he's known to use that to his advantage early on in reps prior to finishing. Showing more comfort in the B gaps, he's much more natural as a 3 technique. Graham's game must continue to grow, as he doesn't contain many moves in his arsenal and can get shifted into different directions against double teams. So guys, that is my latest mock draft for the Carolina Panthers. Justin Fields at number 8, possibly. Pound that like button, like I said. Pound the subscribe button if you haven't already, or if you're new to the channel, or if you just like what I put out there. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any of the new raw content. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. More to come. Panther Nation, Pantherologists, you know what to do. Keep pounding.